Featured comedian has been on HBO and at the Just for Laughs Comedy Festival, Maggie Winters. Yeah. And your headliner was just named a comedian to watch from Vulture magazine, Ever Mainard. Yeah. And I'm your host, Angie McMahon. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I am also a little bit famous. You might recognize me from the Netflix baking competition Nailed It Holiday. Cosmopolitan magazine named my cake one of the top 6 worst cakes ever made on the show. I have fans. They're mostly 9-year-old girls and a couple creepy guys on Twitter that are into cake stuff or whatever. One of these girls came up to me on the playground. She said, "Do you like baking?" And I said, "Mm-hmm." "Did you see Nailed It?" And she said, "Mm-hmm." And I said, "How did I do?" And she went, and I said, "Would you like a picture?" And she goes, "You didn't win." And I was like, "You came up to me, little girl. Where's your mother?" And I tattled on that bitch. But I'm not a very confrontational person, actually. I'm not a fighter. I mean, look at me. I'm Midwest hot, Wisconsin 10. I know my place in the world. I'm not even strong enough to push my thumb through the aluminum foil on the NyQuil. So I gotta be a tough talker. Gotta talk tough. And it helps that I'm Italian. Any other paisans here? We don't, yeah, we got one. We don't normally like to identify ourselves in crowds. Just ask JFK. My people killed Jesus too. See, a lot of people think the Jews killed Jesus, but that's not true. The Romans killed Jesus, and I want credit. Like I said, I'm Italian. My baby sister Tony and I are very light-haired, light-skinned, like my mother. And my sister Nikki is very jet black hair, very caramel skin, like my father. So we were in the Kmart, and I was like chonking down on a huge dill pickle because it was the 80s, and that's what you did in Kmart. And this woman came over to my sister, and she kneeled down, and she said, "Is this your mother?" And my mother said, "Excuse me?" And the woman said, "I'm sorry, ma'am, you don't look Mexican." This is the moment the light bulb goes off. I'm going to convince my sister that she was adopted. So we have this like display birth certificate that you get at like the grocery store. And it has like a little picture on it, little baby ink feet. And you write how long it is, how much it weighs, and you throw it in a frame and you put it on the wall. So I said, "Nikki, I can prove you're not Mexican." And I brought her up to the picture. And I ran my finger across a tiny sentence at the bottom of the frame. And it said, "Made in Taiwan." I said, "You were made in Taiwan. That's a legal document." And she started freaking out. She was like, "My real family's gonna come for me. My real family's gonna come for me." My mother was so shaking mad with me. She said, "Your father's gonna deal with you." So behind that closed door, my dad said, "Don't tell your mother that I didn't hit you. And don't tell your mother that I'm drunk." I'm kidding, you guys. He hit me. He was drunk. It was the 80s. I'm married. I've been married for 20 years now. Thank you, thank you. Fun fact, I'm extremely anemic. That means I bruise really easily. That's what my husband wants me to say. My husband hates that joke. He's like, "People are going to think I beat you." I said, "No, they're not. Look at you. Come on." It is true, though, I am extremely anemic. The doctor said I have sickle cell anemia for Mediterranean blood. So I've decided Mediterranean blood is my rap name now. I have a gay daughter. She's poly-bi, gender fluid. Her pronouns are she, they. And I was like, "Can mommy just call you gay? Is that okay?" I think it's more important that I know the whole title so I can answer it correctly if I get pressed on it. Like if I say to someone, "I have a gay kid," and they go, "Oh, what kind?" My other daughter is 6 years younger, and she came out as Christian. Now, my husband is atheist, and I'm agnostic, so we've not raised the kids in any kind of religion. And my husband's incredibly supportive of our gay daughter. He's like, "Anything you want, anything you need, we love you so much." But of our Christian daughter, he's like, "Everything you're feeling is a lie. They're telling you lies. It's all lies." I'm trying to be more progressive. I'm trying to learn from my gay daughter. She said, "Mom, Sometimes I like girls. And sometimes I like boys. And sometimes I like girls that are boys. And sometimes I like boys that are girls. And sometimes I like people that aren't boys or girls. And I said, stop. I am trying to be supportive, but you sound like a whore. Now explain it to mommy again slowly. And at each point, tell me how many people are involved. She's 19 now, and we were out shopping. And she took a picture of a closed down bye-bye baby. And she went, Roe v. Wade. And I said, what are you talking about? And she said, isn't that an abortion clinic? I said, the bye-bye baby? The bye-bye baby is not a place where you can buy a baby, nor is it a place where you say bye-bye to a baby. It's a place where you buy things for a baby. And she goes, well, that's a confusing name. I said, is it? That means you buy into the idea that there is a warehouse-sized abortion clinic next to the McDonald's. Or there's some black market store where you can buy and sell children next to the McDonald's. And if you couldn't tell from that absolutely 100% real conversation I had with my daughter, she has autism. And we didn't find out she had autism until she was about 17. And when I got her diagnosis, oh, it hit me right in the chest. I just thought, that makes so much sense. I just thought she was an asshole. No, it's true. Like, it does make so much sense. And we communicate so much better now. But here's what came out of it. Now, every time I meet an asshole, I'm like, oh, he's autistic. And it makes it so much easier to deal with him. I'm telling you, the next time you meet an asshole, if you say to yourself, like, oh, I'll just be patient with him, it'll make your day so much better. I have a 12-year-old as well. My 12-year-old took out a Tinder account on her friend's phone because she thought it was funny. I said, let me see the profile. First of all, the profile picture was Keira Knightley. And I was like, do you know who this is? And she said, she's pretty. So my 12-year-old was catfishing people on Tinder as Keira Knightley under the alias Sheila. And I said, why Sheila? And she said, it sounded more adult. This is what the profile said. This girly pop slay. No sips, no sad boys, bet. I said, I don't think that's how adults talk. I don't know. I've never been on a dating app. My husband and I started dating. He left me messages on my answering machine. You know how hard it is to get a dick pic off an answering machine? I did have this idea the other day, like, what would be a 90s equivalent of an unsolicited dick pic? It would just be a guy with a bunch of Polaroids of his dick, and he's like, look at this, look at this, look at this. She's always been very funny, though. When she was 5, she decided she wanted to call her vagina her front butt. And her pediatrician was incensed with me. How can you not teach her the proper names of her body parts? I said, look, lady, she's got her whole life to find out it's called a vagina. She's not going to be 27, like, bang me in the front butt. Yeah. Is anyone here, like, consider themselves an aggressive driver? Like, someone who might, like, weave in and out of traffic? Yeah? Over here? Okay, what's your name? Tyler. Tyler? We all fucking hate you, Tyler, so much. Fucking everyone here fucking hates you. Are you with Tyler? Yeah, how do you feel about his aggressive driving? I hold on. You hold on. You're frightening your friends, Tyler. Here's the thing, like, you're very confident because you're zipping in. I am a very nervous driver. Do you know how many people I'm gonna kill because of you, Tyler? I just want to know why. Like, why do you do it?
People here can't drive.
People here can't drive? No. Okay, I'll just be patient with you. Oh, let's see. You ever take a shit so big your next thought is, I should weigh myself? All right, I'm going to get out in this last one, and we'll get your featured comedian up here. My baby sister, Tony, was born 4 months premature. And she was born with half a heart and 1 lung. And she had to live in an incubator for the first year of her life. And they said she wouldn't live past the age of 5. But she's 37 now, and she's a mom and a lawyer. So every year on her birthday, I call her up and I say, you're supposed to be dead. You guys are in for such a treat. Your first comedian, you could see her as a regular character on The Righteous Gemstones on HBO and in New Faces for Just for Laughs. Give it up for Maggie Winters!